ladies and gentlemen. This is the Stubborn German podcast. I'm Kevin Ostie, joined as always by the proprietor of the Stubborn German Brewing Company, Mr. Chris Ron.
Prost!
Yes, and our esteemed producer, Mr. Jared Chasson.
Good afternoon.
It is a great afternoon because this is a super highly special episode. We are live to tape at Stubbornfest 21.
It's here.
That's right.
It's here. It's back.
It's all around us.
Yeah, it really is all around us, isn't it?
Yes, it's fantastic. I'm literally about to go out of my mind. You guys don't understand. So as we get in this episode, we need to warn our listeners that there is the brass band next to us.
The Deutschmeister Brass Band from St. Louis. Yes.
They politely took a break right when you started.
How about that?
It was very nice. But I bet it's not going to last too long.
It's not.
You may get to hear some fun things in the background.
Correct. You're going to hear some authentic brass German music. These guys are dynamite. And they're singing and playing and dancing. And
aren't they great?
They are great.
They're the real deal. They're so cool. This is the most authentic, German band, experience that you'll see here, and probably you'll see anywhere in the St. Louis area. If I had to guess.
You've never seen so many lederhosen.
Oh, they're everywhere.
Yeah, no, this is really really amazing. And I know you did the preview episode before, but
yes.
Being here live, right? So it was an interesting weather day. We had some rain earlier, and I know you were a little bit nervous about the turnout, but the rain blew away and everybody came out.
And I got to have something to be nervous about anyway, so if I wasn't nervous about the rain, I'd be nervous about something else, so it's probably fine. I mean, that's just what we do.
It is fine. Everybody's having a great time. They bring their chairs. You've got your wooden bench tables out in front.
Yep.
You've got a beer bar out in front of the bar, and then there's another one across the street. And you guys, for some, I don't know how, but you were able to get the whole street blocked off for your stage.
Yep. There's an application with the city, and we filled it out, and they said, go ahead.
Well, I mean,
it's very nice of them, actually.
It wouldn't make sense for them not to.
Right. Yeah.
But street fests like this, I have a long history with.
Yeah.
Right? So where I grew up, there was street fests in Chicago all over the place. Every weekend we had our choice of 5 or 6 of them to go to. And some of them were like tastes, taste of Lincoln Avenue or whatnot.
Sure.
Others were maybe put on by a big church, like the world's largest block party. That had 35,000, 40,000 people that would come to that. Yeah, it was crazy. It was sponsored by the old St. Pat's Church, and they would make like all their money for the year
right there
off that event.
I believe it.
I mean, I saw Cheap Trick there. I mean, it was huge. Yeah,
that's so cool.
So
I saw Deutschmeister Brass Band at Stubbornfest.
Well, that's the thing.
Sorry, go ahead. I had to hijack.
I don't get those experiences very much anymore, except for coming here.
Gotcha.
So first of all, we've got the Street Fest atmosphere. Second of all, the Oktoberfest atmosphere. And I've never been to Munich for the real one, the big one. But I grew up around these things. My Uncle Glenn and my grandfather were in German bands, and my Uncle Glenn is probably playing an Oktoberfest tonight.
Today, yeah, I'm sure. It's probably his 10th or 12th performance this past 3 weeks.
Today, yeah. So, this is in my genetics, and when I come to this event, I go nuts. I love it.
Yes.
Yeah, I feel like we got to say, Chris, it's good to have Kevin back on the show. He missed the last one.
Certainly.
Oh
is.
Man, we missed you, Kevin.
Well, I missed you
Not
too.
that you did a bad job, Jared. You did a great job, but there's only one Kevin.
Well, I felt bad for missing it, but I.
We do the Kevin episode, and then the next episode he's like, man, I got what I needed.
I'm out.
I was honestly just trying to give the listeners a break. They're like, we had enough of that guy last time.
Enough of him.
Another thing I appreciate about Oktoberfest and Stubbornfest, and I was just reminded of it as a fall maple leaf just fell on our table as we speak. It's absolutely fall time now, and I love it.
In the fall, yeah.
The weather is great.
I mean, look at this tree. It's definitely turning orange.
Yep, the leaves have turned.
The weather's perfect, and I was just talking about this the other day. This is an unusual part of the country because as soon as fall starts on the calendar, the weather changes that day.
Yes.
They flip the switch, and here's fall, which is cool. I dig it. But, here at Stubbornfest, what you can expect is obviously the music and drinking the beer, but you've got other people and local businesses going. So Shorty's next door is preparing food. Do you know what's on their menu?
Yeah, they cooked a ton of. I mean, it might actually be a literal ton of bratwurst. I'm not exactly sure.
A giant.
It wouldn't surprise me.
Yeah, container of bratwurst.
And they did a schnitzel sandwich, which my son just came up and I got a bite of, which was really good. And
Schnitzwich.
Where's our bite?
Yeah,
Chris?
well,
Come
I
on.
don't know. I mean, so I'm sure they have a bunch of stuff on this sandwich, but my son gets everything with nothing on it, just absolutely plain. So I take a bite and it's like, oh, it tastes like a bun and some meat. Yummy.
But still probably good.
It was really good, what I had.
Yeah.
And then we have Pie Hard over here. And Pie Hard is doing pizza, and they've got their little custard freezer up here.
Frozen
so you
custard,
can get frozen custard right here. And then their pizzas they're making over at the restaurant. So you order right here. The lady that takes your money will text or I think they walkie-talkie the order down to the store, and so you still get the wood-fired pizza in their oven.
Yep.
Yeah,
that's
fantastic.
They run it right up here. So
it's not like when you go to the fair and they've got the pizza oven and they just take the thing out of the freezer and throw it in and heat it up. No, you're placing the order for the pizza you want.
And okay, so the time of the day it is right now, we're all going to have to eat dinner here in a little while.
Right. Yeah,
you
remind me.
have to get that Stubborn Jager pizza. It's got mushrooms, pork loin on it, and this is all on a pizza. It's so good. I mean, they brought one out. I guess they were playing with it. But yesterday, right after we did the ceremonial keg tapping, Megan sets one right in front of us and is like, "Here you go."
That is so cool
man.
that they architected that for you guys for this event.
Yes.
Yeah.
And it's so good.
Yeah, looking forward to that.
I did have Shorty's earlier today, just about an hour ago, and they were running out, like, as I placed my order, and two people after me in line, they said, sorry, we're out of food. So that was before the brats. They were setting the bratwurst aside.
Yeah.
But they definitely had a lot of patrons here for Stubbornfest that were eating at Shorty's. So
well, I'm going
to be busy.
Yeah, I'm going to dive into the brats over there and the Stubborn Jager pizza. It sounds fantastic. I know this is great because this is Chris and Tammy's event, and they're kind of different from a lot of proprietors, if you will, because they're very hands-on. As we're talking right now, Chris is emptying out a garbage can.
He is. He's
not
above
my son.
My son
taking
Drew
out the
comes
trash.
over and is taking out the trash can that's right next to us.
Yeah, this isn't hire some event crew to put this on. This is as hands-on as it gets.
And if I can give a shout out to my children, Drew worked his butt off yesterday. He changed all these trash cans. Evan was doing the same thing. Actually, one of the best compliments that I think that I've ever had in my life was last night. Dave, actually, the lead singer of the Bowls and Beer Band, at the very end of the night. I mean, we've all been drinking all night long, and he comes up to Tammy, and Tammy tells me this later, but comes up to Tammy and says, "Your kids, they are so cool. I saw Drew running around. You didn't know their names, but the young one was running around changing trash cans. The older one was I saw him. He just picked up a cup that was on the ground. It was an empty cup that someone left, and he just grabbed it. I'm like, oh, thank you. We're doing something right.
So shout out to Drew and Evan. Good
Drew
job,
and Evan
guys.
are kicking butt
Way
this
to go.
weekend.
Well,
sure.
and they're just following the example, because you and Tammy are very conscientious people, and it's not just here.
Sure. Yeah. I guess
it's wherever you go, and I think this is a good time to do a quick little segue for some congratulations to Mr. Chris Ron.
That's right.
Who is the new president of the Waterloo Optimist Club for the coming year.
Congratulations.
It's a youth fundraising organization, so congratulations,
Thank
man.
you. Thank you. I'm very excited. It's
How
gonna
many
be fun.
kegs did you have to pay off?
I had to donate a whole lot of beer to get that position, but the deed was done, and we're good to go.
Well, that is an organization that enjoys beer.
Yes, it is. Yeah.
And I was fortunate enough to have that same position a couple of years ago, and
I learned from the best.
Well, it's really nothing like that. But what you will learn is the depth of the involvement of the individuals in that club even more than what you see normally.
And I'm excited to dig into that more, actually, because we have, I'd say, 5 or 6 kind of major fundraiser event type things throughout the year.
Yep.
And each of those is shared by a different 1 or 2 or 3 people, and I have a feeling that those 1 or 2 or 3 people get way more into it than I see on the surface.
Yeah, they do it.
But especially a couple of them that I can think of individually. But I'm excited to kind of really see exactly how far they go into it. And I do one of them, so I know on BBQ, I know the extent of that goes into that. But to do the bull ride and to do even the Christmas tree lot, there's a lot of behind the scenes stuff that I'm excited to see how it all works. So.
Yeah, it's pretty cool, and there is not the expectation that you have to be the guy that runs all those.
Sure,
which is great.
Yeah, thank God, because
each one of those events has the people that have taken ownership.
Yeah.
Which brings me to the one that will happen here in the same Waterloo Town Square in May.
Yeah.
Which is the Waterloo Optimist BBQ.
BBQ, yeah. The next couple events that we'll have the Christmas tree lot coming up, but then we'll have BBQ, which is a whole thing, and we'll do a whole podcast episode about that because I think it warrants it. We could have a home brewer on, we could have a BBQ, a barbecue on, or a BBQ or whatever.
I think we've touched on BBQ on the show in the past, but just so people understand what this is, it's basically a friendly brewing competition.
Yeah.
Right? And also a barbecue competition at the same time.
Yes.
Which
and it's
is
all
unusual.
It's supposed to be geared toward amateurs, so there's no professional beer, it's all homebrew. So it's in the same way with the barbecue. We do have you pay an entrance fee to come in and eat food and drink beer. So we feel like we have to at least make sure we have enough food. We have plenty of beer, but so we do buy food from the local, from Shorty's and from JV's and Schneider's, and so there's plenty of food here, to satisfy your what you paid for your ticket. But it's geared towards showing that you can do this all in your backyard. You can make beer, you can make ribs, brisket, whatever. You can do all this right in your backyard. So that's the fun of that. I think.
Yeah, and there's the whole town square is literally circled with homebrewers and smokers, and they're setting up the night before. And
from Hopskeller to the Buffalo, it's all the way around.
So, but to kind of bring it full circle, you and Tammy and the Stubborn German crew are just event maniacs. You guys just love doing events.
We do.
And it's great.
We love hosting. We found that out. That I think what what we really like to do is host people and make people have fun and make people happy. That's what we're into.
I like that, Jared. They make people have fun.
I will make you have fun. Well,
now is the time when you'll have fun. Start having your fun now.
The fun starts now.
So I feel like we should paint a picture for those of you who maybe never been to Stubbornfest or just kind of wonder
Jared,
what
who
we're
hasn't
seeing.
been to Stubbornfest?
You know.
Oh, okay.
But we're on day 2, right?
I feel like I saw the whole town last night.
So day 1, yeah, exactly.
Yeah.
Last night was crazy. You had the Bowls and Beer Band. It was
Waterloo German Band started.
Right.
We had a ceremonial keg tapping, so we had a little party keg thing.
But right now we've got hundreds of people out here on Main Street sitting at all the tables that you guys set up.
Yeah.
We've got a couple beer tents out here. Like we said, the Pie Hard tent, the Shorty's tent. Inside is packed. It's crazy. There's people everywhere.
And so many of them have dressed the part. They've got their dirndls and their lederhosen on, and they're actively participating.
We have Tammy joining us momentarily.
Oh, hi.
Here she
How's
is.
it going?
Hi, Tammy.
This is a rare moment when Tammy is standing still at Stubbornfest.
Yeah.
She just came over to ask where our kids are.
Have you seen our kids?
So right here on the podcast, I'll let you know, Drew just took the trash out, so I would imagine he's around by the dumpster.
Okay.
And we gave shout out to both your boys, Evan and Drew.
They've been helping so much. They're so sweet.
I said about the compliment that Dave from Bolzen said. So
Yeah.
so it's so awesome.
Yeah, so this is a rare
Made my
moment
day.
where Tammy's not, where you are standing still at Stubbornfest. So I just want to say thank you, and thanks to Chris also for hosting this event again this year.
Yeah, it is so much fun. I love to see people drinking our beer, and they've got their families here. This one group on the patio, they brought, it's his 40th birthday, and they have a whole table full of German food and pretzels and stuff that they brought from home, and they're just having the best time ever. So
Right on.
it's really cool to be part of that celebration.
Yeah. That's awesome.
You guys work insanely hard for this, and every time I come into the brewery, my eye goes to the countdown timer on the wall.
Yep.
359 more days to Stubbornfest.
Well, Tammy's doing it all. I've seen her being a gracious host to people, but I've also seen her hauling a bucket of ice and doing it all. Good job, Tammy.
Yeah, I'm going to have to go to the chiropractor after this for sure.
I told these guys that this event, I'm resisting the urge to go like way crazy and just start drinking like nuts and dancing and singing. So you might have to haul me out of here later on. But I'll try not to get that way.
And the weather held off, so
Yeah,
I'm
it's
sure you already
gorgeous
talked
right
about
now.
that. So, all right, well, I have to get back to work.
Do you? I'll keep talking. Don't worry, I'll do the podcast. You can go work.
Thanks, Tammy.
Bye, Tammy.
Oh, that's great.
So I think that's what this episode will be is people just dropping in. We'll talk to them for a couple of minutes.
Yeah.
And we'll see how it goes.
Should I go find a guest?
Yeah, go find somebody,
All right,
Chris.
I'll be right back.
Chris will be right back.
So Chris is going to venture out into the crowd here, and I think his criteria was anybody in Lederhosen?
I think so, yeah. And there's so many to choose from, so he can take his pick. But definitely, man, if you haven't been out, and if you're listening to this podcast, I feel like you've probably been to Stubbornfest. But if not, you got to come. It's such a good time.
It is a great
It's just a
time.
good energy, right?
Oh, totally. Nobody here is not here to have a bad time.
Yeah.
You know, everybody wants to have a good time. But as you mentioned, you know, that most people that listen are probably here. You keep track of the stats. We
Yeah.
have listeners
Oh, yeah.
all over
the
man.
world,
Yeah,
honestly.
so
I mean,
we're extending the invite.
Yeah, it's pretty crazy, the kind of people that we get. All right, we have a guest.
Yes, we got to figure out the hat versus the headphone situation.
Give us a moment here.
Yeah.
There you go, sir.
Thank you.
Welcome.
We have a guest.
All right.
I brought Haas.
Haas.
I don't even know if Haas has a real name. It's just Haas.
That's okay.
If you've been to Stubborn German, you know Haas. He's the guy at the corner of the bar.
That's
right. But yeah, so Haas had the honor of doing the ceremonial keg tapping yesterday to kick off Stubbornfest.
Nice.
I did.
Yeah, and he did a great job.
That's quite an honor.
The keg was tapped.
I felt very privileged.
Yeah, that's an important thing. You know, if that tap doesn't go in properly, you have a lot of unhappy people.
Yeah,
right.
and a mess.
I've heard that in the
So
past.
good job.
Yeah.
We may have remedied it a little bit this year, but it worked out real good, I think.
So you are normally a fixture inside at the corner of the bar, and now you're outside and enjoying. You know, so what's your favorite aspect of Stubbornfest? You obviously came dressed for it.
I did. It's just the German heritage, and I'm proud to be part of it, and
Oh, thanks.
that someone's carrying it on, that I don't have to go over to Germany to do this.
Hey,
Right.
And I have been to Germany twice for the real Oktoberfest.
Wow, okay.
That's so cool.
you know, it's funny. Earlier, I started to say the real Oktoberfest, but I think this is pretty darn real too. It's just not Munich.
It's just not there.
Smaller scale.
Yeah,
Chris keeps saying he's going to fly us over there for the real one. I have yet to see
Yeah,
it.
one of these years it'll happen.
So you've got some outstanding looking Lederhosen.
Yeah, man.
Very authentic
Thank
stuff.
you. Thank you very much.
What's the story with those?
My wife bought them for me.
Nice.
I'm not sure whether she got them from Germany. I think they're authentic.
They look like it for sure.
The hat itself, I bought over in Germany when I was there in 1988.
Wow.
Wow,
Cool.
nice.
That's
That looks like it only comes out on special occasions. It's in beautiful shape
You got that right.
for 1988. Well, I'm so glad that this is one of them.
yeah.
That's right.
I would not miss it.
All right, so
And I was blessed this year. I was off work Friday and Saturday, so I got to spend a lot more extra time up here.
Nice.
perfect. So what's your beer of choice here this weekend?
I've been going with the Stubbornfest for the
Yeah.
most part.
That's kind of the go-to, right?
Yeah.
And we thank you for that. We've moved through a lot of Stubbornfest this weekend so far, and yeah, we're only one and a quarter of the way through the whole thing.
Yeah.
I mean, it's
Yeah,
it's
you're-
insane how much
you were
beer
telling me,
we've gone through.
Chris, kind of how many
Yeah.
barrels and everything you've
Yeah.
gone through a Stubbornfest.
So we filled
It's
that
wild.
big tank behind the brewery. We made about 20 half barrels of Stubbornfest, and I mean it's either all those kegs are either right now empty or in the Schneider's trailer ready to go on as backup, which there's only about 2 or 3.
Yeah.
And then we've got a couple for backup in the inside bar, and after that, that's it.
Nice.
I was telling him, I know I have one keg sold, so I hope Terry from Otts isn't hearing this because we might be selling his keg. Sorry, Terry.
So if the weather holds out, you're definitely going to run out of Stubbornfest, I would think.
For sure.
Yeah.
If the I almost need a little rain so Terry can get his.
And if somebody says, "Oh, I wanted Stubbornfest," but you're out, what are you going to point them towards, Chris?
Probably alt beer.
Alt beer. There you go.
That's my second choice.
Exactly.
There you go. Haas agrees.
Nice.
So,
cool.
that is interesting that you brew a beer specifically for this event. Tell us what that beer consists of.
That is Stubbornfest, which is the beer is named after the event, but it's our Oktoberfest and we kind of went over this in the last episode, but I'll quickly go over it. But yeah, it's our flagship beer. It's the one that we make all year round instead of just as a seasonal. So a lot of breweries just do it as seasonal. We make sure we have it all the time. It's probably the beer that I think that I make the best. The best tasting beer. I've got the most experience making it. I've done the most research on it. I mean, I love everything about that beer. So
right on.
That's it.
It's a beer worthy of an event.
Right.
And
exactly.
Oktoberfest, it's my favorite time of year. I probably have a dozen different Oktoberfest beers in my refrigerator right now, including a couple from Stubborn German.
Nice.
Sure. So
awesome.
what are some of the others that you enjoy? It's okay to say other names. We're all aficionados.
Oh, just
Absolutely.
throw one out there. Breckenridge, Sam Adams,
Yep.
Nice.
Founders,
Founders is good this year. Yeah.
Civil Life.
Yes. Always good. Always good.
There's one out of Chicago that escapes me
Revolution?
right now. Yes.
Yeah, Revolution
Yes.
is really good.
Yeah.
Schlafly is a good one this year.
They do?
And then I say this year, but sometimes there can be some variability
Little
there.
variance,
Yeah.
right.
Yeah. But I love doing the same thing. I used to do it way more than I do now. Now I have access to all the beer that I could ever want, so I don't do it as much. But I would just go to Schnucks or go any liquor store, and I would just buy as many 6-packs of Oktoberfest as I could get.
Right here.
Yeah, and just have I'll sample them all. Like I'll get a few buddies and we'll just pop them open.
I could show you a picture on my phone last time I went to Total Wine.
They saw you coming. Huh?
I came out $90 lighter in the pocketbook.
That's not too terrible for the amount of enjoyment it's going to bring you.
Sure.
Yeah.
Oh, I got some. A buddy of mine just brought me some from Nashville too. Some Yingling Oktoberfest.
Oh yes, that's a good one too.
Yinger does
for
it
sure.
too.
Yep.
Very cool.
Awesome.
Well, listen, Haas, it's been a pleasure. We appreciate you joining us.
Thank you very much.
Looks like you're having a great time. We hope you continue.
Will do.
Right on. And we'll see you at the corner of the bar the rest of the year.
More than likely.
Outstanding.
Thank you, guys.
Thank you.
Thanks, Haas, for coming on.
So great to see, just people genuinely enjoying themselves.
Well, I hope that everybody can hear us clearly, because this German band in the background is rocking it pretty hard.
They are, but your microphones are very directional. I'm going to point the mic at the band, and you'll hear the difference.
Yeah.
I mean, they totally turn up when that happens. So it's nice background. It's great.
It's good. It's fun to listen to while we're standing here.
Chris, how long have you known Mr. Haas?
Since we've been open, so 5.5 years.
5.5 years,
Yep.
and you never got his real name.
No,
He's just Haas.
I love it.
Is it Derek? Greg?
I don't know. Hey, Haas.
Casey? No, it's Wayne. Actually, I know
you
his
go.
name. It's Wayne, but everybody knows him as Haas. So
For sure. That's outstanding.
I didn't want to confuse anybody and say, "Here's Wayne."
Yeah, right. You got another guy at the corner of the bar?
You're right.
What happened to Haas?
He's a good guy, and his son, we call him Little Haas,
Of course.
who's bigger than him. He's a big boy, and but he comes in all the time too. But between the both of them, it's awesome to see father and son come in, and they're big blues fans, so they'll come in, have some beers, watch the game and stuff. So we get along real well. So.
Well, I like the opportunity to chat with some of the people that come here. It's not just us. It's without people to come and enjoy your place, you don't really have a place. So
Sure. Oh, for sure. I know. And it's so awesome. I'm so thankful. We got up on stage yesterday and just kind of did a big thank you to everybody, and we'll probably do it again tonight. But it's so awesome to see. And I see so many people. Today's Saturday. We already did this Friday. I see so many people today that were here yesterday. It's not like it's a different crowd. It's the same people that just want to have some more fun.
Sure, right. Well, and these are people that when it's not the Stubbornfest, they're here at the bar anyway.
They might.
at the brewery.
Yeah, they might as well just. They would have been here anyway. So.
So when we launched this several months ago, early initial topics were the damper that the COVID thing put on everything. Sure. What's the landscape today? You guys seem busier than ever.
Yeah, people really, really are tired of COVID. They want to come out. And I don't know, I'm of the mindset, and right or wrong, I feel like COVID's going to be around for a long time either way, and people are just like, let's get on with life. We got
to deal with it.
Yeah, and so you take your precautions, you do the best you can, and I don't know, I think that's... We extended our borders for this just to give people more space to spread out. Yeah. Like, if you want to spread out and sit further away, you definitely can.
Good thinking. Good thinking.
Yeah, so that's, I don't know, we're taking any precaution that we're able to, So
I don't mean to interrupt you.
Yep.
We have a trumpet player, I don't know.
Trumpeteur.
Walking through the crowd, playing along. That's pretty cool.
Yeah, that's great.
Do you think we can get him to blast this trumpet into our microphone
here? That's right. Yeah, let's get him on.
That's very
We got a couple of them.
Do you think he'll stop mid-song to be on our podcast?
I mean, you won't know unless you ask.
Hey, buddy.
Yeah. But yeah, I think you're right. People are ready to get out and enjoy. You weren't able to do this last year, right?
Right. We did a really, really scaled down version in the back parking lot, and it was very, very spaced out. And that was kind of it wasn't the height of all the COVID stuff, but it was around there.
At least it wasn't a Zoom fest,
Right. Yeah.
People were definitely excited to get back out here.
Zoom fest.
And it shows. There's so many people, so many tables. Everything's full. There's nowhere. There's not an empty seat that you can just be like, well, let's camp out here.
Yeah.
It's awesome. The energy is, you can feel it. The band is rocking it. It's great.
So
awesome.
The lay of the land here, we've got the stage trailer.
Yeah.
Yes.
Tell us about this thing.
Chris was telling me about bringing it here.
So if you're from the area, you've heard and probably been to Paderborn Tavern. It's Carbon's Knotty Pines is the official name, but it's Paderborn. Everybody knows it as. And because Paderborn is a town, obviously, because it has one church and one bar.
There you go.
So it's an official town. I don't think it has a post office. But anyway, the bar owner, Jeff, lets us use the trailer. The only catch is we have to get it into town. You see how tall it is?
It's a stage. Like, it looks like, if
yeah,
you're not paying attention, it just looks like a legit band stage.
Well, it's an old hay wagon.
It's covered.
Yeah, hold on a second here. There's a lot going on that I've never really paid attention to.
Go ahead and pick this apart.
So I'm not picking it apart, but so recently I've been traveling a lot, and I've been doing a lot of stage work with these very fancy stages that come in as a flat trailer.
Right.
You basically push a button.
It's a transformer.
Exactly. It grows to 30 feet high, and the top appears, and the sides fold out, and you get a big floor. But this is this open shape the whole time.
Yes.
I'm just now noticing that. Like, this isn't collapsible. You set it up when it gets here.
This is the way it travels.
You drove this down the road looking like a stage with a roof on it.
I tied on some Bavarian flags and put a Stubbornfest banner up, and here we are.
Yeah, so, and if you peek underneath, you can see that there's a very old-style solid axle with leaf springs, and like you said, it's an old hay wagon.
Yeah, so that front axle rotates, it'll turn. So what that equals is Chris doesn't get to back this up. Chris pulls forward. We don't try to back this up.
So you got to take 3 laps around the town square to put it where you want.
Well, I've lucked out every year. I've got right on it. This year I almost hit that sign right back there, but I was about an inch and a half away, and I just barely pulled out of it. But
well, it's reminiscent of the Waterloo German band parade float, which is also a band
kind of decorated and,
on a rolling stage, and that's pretty cool. It kind of looks like that old Georgia Satellites video where the whole band's in the bed of a truck going down the road and playing. I mean, maybe that's the next evolution.
Yeah, it's just like have a big parade and let them
throw some
traveling Stubbornfest. We could have done that last year, I guess.
Right, yeah. Throw some seatbelts up there and bring the band with you.
But no, it's a big stage. It's wide.
Yeah, it's a legit. I mean, you got a big band on there right now. A bunch of instruments.
Yeah, lights.
15, 20
probably
people.
15, 20 people up there. So
well, it's very cool of them to let you use this.
Yes, it is. Yeah, I'm very thankful that they do that. And he's always said, "Oh no, just whatever, bring it back." So I think
did those guys build it?
I don't know if he built it or someone there built it that he knows. I'm not really sure. I don't really know the history of this trailer. I do know that Randy's, the bar next door, used it for their block party.
Yes.
And that's how I was like, where did you find that? Because I need that for Stubbornfest.
Sure,
so
yeah.
The first year we had Stubbornfest outside, we had it for that. So
I also think that as Paderborn has expanded and offered more space.
Yeah.
I don't know if they use this very often. Do they? I don't even know.
I don't know. It was in the back of the very, very back of their lot. And I don't know if that means that they had a party there or a festival or something. I'm not really sure. I think they do use it, but I kind of believe that it's just like the traveling county trailer that Jeff's just a nice guy and he'll let anybody use it, which I mean
that's
it's all wired up with lights and everything.
Throw him a wad of cash whenever I see him. Just
for sure, yeah. We'll take a little collection.
Yeah, I mean he shouldn't have to pay for that on his own.
But the great thing about it is as not being collapsible, it's always ready to go.
Yeah, it is. Yeah, you just need a truck.
Yeah, that's cool.
So I think we have some beer puppeteer.
We do.
Participants.
Jared, why don't you talk about the beer puppeteer, and I'm going to go find a guest.
All right. Chris is going to go find somebody.
And another beer.
So we talked about this on the last podcast, but even then I couldn't really picture it. So Kevin, let's try to describe the beer puppeteer contraption.
Well, it's pretty interesting. So it's an individually operated contraption, as you said. And there is a wooden frame that, at first glance, it almost looks like the old hangman drawing.
Yep.
The old.
It does look like we're going to have a hanging here
the
today.
Old gallows-looking thing. But instead of having somebody hanging from it by the neck, there are strings that come down and hold a what appears to be maybe a 1 inch thick, 6 by 8 square of wood with a hole drilled in the middle, big enough to hold a beer cup.
So you're controlling it like an old school puppeteer, Pinocchio style.
Right.
You are in control of the height and the angle, and you have to feed yourself beer, basically.
Right. So you use the handles and the string to elevate or bring down this block of wood that's holding your beer cup, and you throttle it into your mouth and hopefully don't spill it all over in front of yourself. It's outstanding.
There's a few lovely ladies right here attempting to feed themselves beers.
Yeah, this is great.
And they're enjoying the attempt.
This looks like a lot of fun.
It does. It's not what I pictured. It's better than what I pictured. I think we should try it later.
I think we should.
We have another guest.
Outstanding.
I brought you Tad.
Yep. All right.
This is Tad.
Tad.
So,
how's it going?
Hello, how is everybody?
Doing great,
We
sir.
are well. How are you?
Doing better. We got good beer. Das Bier ist gut.
That's right. Beer is
Sehr gut, yeah. So is this your first night here, second night here?
This is my second night.
Outstanding. Chris tells me that you're no stranger to these events, so welcome back.
Well, thank you. It's good to be back here in Waterloo at the Stubborn German.
Outstanding. So where'd you come in from?
Campbell Hill, Illinois.
How far is that?
Probably about 45 minutes to an hour away.
Okay.
That's dedication.
Yeah.
Absolutely. We love it here. Love Chris and Tammy. Love the beer. Love the atmosphere that they bring.
So that's why I brought him on.
Let's say, what you pay this guy?
Yeah, exactly.
Did you give him free keys to the executive washroom
there's
downstairs?
Tad. Come on.
That's very nice of you to say all that, Tad, and I certainly agree. Tell me about your experience at Stubbornfest this year. What are the high points so far?
I definitely come for the bands. Definitely love Deutschmeister Brass Band.
Yeah.
100%.
They're awesome.
They're awesome,
Absolutely.
Right?
And then the Waterloo German Band was my highlight from yesterday.
Yeah.
Absolutely.
Cool. Yeah. They're so fun too. I know.
Yeah, absolutely. And to get out here and see everybody enjoying the Glücklichkeit, as they say.
Yes.
That's it.
The friendship, the brotherhood,
The camaraderie.
That's right. Absolutely.
Uh-huh.
Yep. Now, were you here earlier? It's gorgeous now, but it was pouring down rain earlier today. Were you here for the rain?
No, but whenever I was traveling up here, there was heavy rains coming in, and I was very, very worried.
Concerned, yep.
Absolutely, that we'd have to have it inside, but the weather broke.
Yeah.
It's looking a little cloudy right now, but...
A little bit.
I'm not complaining.
Clouds are okay. Just stay that way.
Right, exactly. As long as no rain falls, we'll have good weather.
Yeah.
So have you had the opportunity to sample some of the food offerings between Shorty's and Pie Heart?
I have not yet. I would be
Go
more
for the
than willing to
bratwurst.
go for the bratwurst.
Yep.
Absolutely, 100%.
What's your beer of choice?
Stubbornfest.
That's what everyone
No way,
says.
right? That's my go-to every time I'm up here.
Yeah.
It's my favorite.
That's funny.
Who would know?
Absolutely.
Yeah. So are you here solo tonight, or are you joined by anybody?
No, I'm here solo. I travel alone. But
How do you know Chris and Tammy?
well, actually, it's kind of a funny story. We started with the Masonic Lodge here on top of the.
Really?
Yeah. So I've been coming here for probably about 8 years.
Okay.
And then whenever you started renting out, Chris, the bottom of it, we just kind of fell into being friendship. I mean, kind of,
for sure, yeah.
Absolutely.
Cool.
That's great, and that's not an unusual story for this place.
Yeah. Oh, yeah.
Yeah. There's so many people that have met you guys and met each other, and
We made a lot of good friends because of the brewery. Absolutely.
well,
And one thing I can say about Chris and Tammy, and the Stubborn German in general, they are always welcoming people in. So come on, stop on by.
Yeah.
It's a good time, no matter if it's Stubbornfest or just any other regular day.
Now, the most important question, are you a subscriber of the podcast?
I have not yet, but I will be.
Man. Okay.
Well,
He's going to
Now's
now.
your chance.
I'll tell you what, I did notice the sign in the men's washroom on the wall.
yeah.
Yeah. So
Sure.
that's a great reminder.
Yep.
I'm very
It's
honored to
advertising.
have our sign right above
That's right.
the urinal.
Yep,
It's very
we're
cool.
official now.
It's
That's
easy
right.
to do.
It's cool that you have a podcast.
Yeah.
It's fun. It's I have a lot of fun with it.
That's
so,
good.
Yeah, it's
Talk
pretty cool.
about your.
Yeah,
We talk about you.
Oh, hey,
Basically, every
that's
time.
cool. I've never had anybody talk about me that way.
Oh, well,
for 28 episodes, we've just talked about you.
Hey, that's cool.
You should really listen. You'll probably tell us to stop.
Yeah, actually, maybe not.
You're going to need to sign a waiver after this. But,
That's all right. We can do that.
So, what's your occupation daily?
I work at a daycare in Steelville, Illinois.
wow.
Yeah. So
Oh,
it's
Steelville.
dealing with little kids.
Cool. Good for you.
I can understand why you come here to
Yes.
relax and unwind.
Exactly.
Absolutely. Got to have the good beer
take the edge
to deal
off,
with
yeah.
them little ones.
He deals with kids. He spends his free time in a bar. Makes perfect sense.
Absolutely.
It's kind of a portrait of a good
I'm
German
right
father.
there with you. I'm right there with you.
Yeah, outstanding. Well, listen, we appreciate you joining us and for coming out and supporting the event and the bar so much that you do. Thank you so much, man. It was great
Thanks,
to meet
Ted.
you.
Well, thank you,
Thanks for
everybody.
coming on,
Yeah,
Ted.
absolutely. Thanks
Appreciate
for
it.
having me. First time podcast ever. So it's awesome. Hopefully
There
it
we
turns
go.
out well.
Subscribe to the
Thank
podcast.
you.
You're on the next episode.
Thank you.
There you go.
See you, Dad.
Heck yeah. Very cool, Ted.
See, if you come out to Stubbornfest, you can get on the podcast.
Well, I was going to say you can meet Ted
Yeah.
and Haas.
That's right.
The
Oh, I see a little kid on the beer puppeteer. Oh wait, he's doing water. It's water. It's
course.
just water.
It's just
folks.
water.
It's
It's
okay.
just water. Everything's
There
fine.
will be no
Everything's
lawsuits.
fine. It's just water.
well, reinforcing the family-friendly nature of this establishment and this event.
Uh-oh, the Deutschmeister Brass
right.
Band's taking a break. I bet we could
Taking
get
a break.
Helmethon.
There you go.
Let me wave him down.
See what you can do, Chris.
All right.
Work your magic.
He can do it. Yeah, I am not complaining about the little cloud cover we have.
No, I'll take that. I mean, honestly, there's a lot of blue sky too. So
Well, it's better than
it's
screaming down
gorgeous out.
sunshine.
Yeah.
So I haven't really had a chance to investigate. Do you know how many beers they have on tap at the? I'm going to call it the bar in front of the bar.
I
want to
say I'm going to say 4, maybe 5. And there's another tent over here where I believe they had 4 on tap. Everything's on tap inside, I'm pretty sure.
Yeah.
But outside, it's just the best of the best.
Oh, Chris. Okay, so Chris has to work now.
Chris has a job to do.
Yeah, he says he has to do beer stuff, so he's changing kegs and whatnot. No doubt. So that's good.
Yeah.
Again, pointing to the the fact that Chris and Tammy work here.
Right, that's
A lot.
right. They actually have real work to do. We have a puppeteer attempting to not pour beer all over himself.
Yeah, we have a gentleman who just spilled the whole beer all over himself, and you heard the crowd go wild.
Oohs
in
and
the
ahs.
background. Yeah.
This guy's pretty good. He's
The other gentleman, there's 2 of these rigs.
consuming it all.
Yeah, the other gentleman's doing really good.
He's got lederhosen on though.
Almost lost it there.
The seasoned veteran is dressed for the part. The guy who spilled beer all over himself is just wearing shorts and a t-shirt. So
Yeah, this is a fantastic invention.
it really is.
This looks like it's going to be a lot of fun. We were
And there's-
commenting earlier that so I don't have legit lederhosen.
No,
so,
I don't either.
So this year I had to wear my vintage 2016 Stubbornfest shirt.
I
And-
mean, you're repping the OG first year, right?
yeah,
2016.
and it's got a stain from like 2017
Yeah,
on it.
That's
so-
okay. It's well used.
That's right.
We have. Oh well, she walked away. I was going to say, did you try the beer puppeteer?
I did.
How did it go?
It's very successful.
You were successful, huh?
Well, the front of her
Nice.
shirt is not all wet.
Yeah,
so.
you didn't spill it all over yourself. So, have you ever done that before?
I haven't.
It's kind of neat, right? Yeah, we have two more.
I'm a three-time champion.
Three-time champion.
He is Stein.
Stein holding?
Oh, right. Yeah, well, I think they're not officially doing that this year, but you can just choose to do it if you want.
I'm over here for that.
All right, so
Came here just
let's
for
back
the
this up
Stein
again.
contest.
Let's come on
in.
this side. We have another guest here, and this nice lady has been doing the beer puppeteer thing, and we're gonna meet her and learn a little bit about this because there's some interesting facts going on here. Okay, so welcome.
Thank you.
What's your name?
Vicky.
Vicky. This is Jared. I'm Kevin. Welcome to Stubbornfest.
How are you?
Thank you. I'm good.
And you were just doing the beer puppeteer thing, and like I mentioned, you didn't spill all over yourself, so you're fairly successful there.
Yeah.
But now, did you say that you were a 3-time champion Stein holder?
Stein holder. Yes, I am.
Wow.
So the first year was down at Deluge
Okay.
Brewery, down in Franklin County, and then the second year was Anheuser-Busch.
Okay.
Wow, big one.
2019. Yes. And
She's
then
not just a local champion.
No,
Yeah.
yeah, regional here.
Yeah.
Yes, I am. And then
That's awesome.
a couple of weeks ago, I won at Das Bevo.
Wow. Okay.
Yeah.
You're not messing around.
I know. The old Bevo Mill.
Do you know how long was your time?
It was a little under 5 minutes
Wow.
for the female.
Okay.
I don't think I can hold an empty
That's
beer
legit.
for 5 minutes straight up.
Right.
So the Stein holding competition, this is a very traditional, long-standing tradition in Germany at Munich's Oktoberfest. And so they give you a full Stein of beer and line up a bunch of people. Now, how many people do you compete against in some of these?
So the last one at Das Bevo was like 8 women
Wow.
and about 9 men.
Nice,
Yeah.
nice.
Yeah. So I hung out for a little over 5 minutes.
Nice.
And that's holding a full Stein of beer at full length arm extension for 5 minutes. Now,
Yeah.
is this something you train for the rest of the year? I mean, that requires some shoulder strength.
Yeah, no, that's not what I did.
You're just good at it.
It takes
I am.
All
built
I am.
in
There's a lot of
endurance, yeah.
mind skill to it. Yeah.
Ah,
Well,
It's
it's
all
great to
in
have you on, and thank you for being here.
Well, I hope they have one
And
here.
maybe we'll do the Stein competition.
Tonight.
yeah, maybe
we'll
there
do
could
it
be an
again.
unofficial, too.
That's
if,
right.
If it's
Yeah.
not one scheduled, there's nothing stopping anybody from
Right.
rallying the troops. So,
Well, good to meet you.
Vicky, thank you
Thanks
so much
for being
joining
here.
us.
Thank you.
And
Appreciate
you'll
it.
hear this on the Stubborn German podcast. You should subscribe, and you'll hear your own story.
Well, thank you very much for having me.
All right. Enjoy the rest of your day.
You're welcome. Outstanding. Who'd have thought? I've never thought to actually get in the Stein holding contest because I probably wouldn't be very good at it. I'd be too tempted to just drink the beer.
Oh, yeah. I mean, right. Who can hold that close to them that far out
For that long,
minutes?
yeah. All right, so we have another guest, Chris.
We have another guest. This is Helmuth from the Deutschmeister Brass Band.
Hi guys, how are you?
Hello, Helmuth. Welcome.
How are you?
Good. It's
He's-
wonderful to be here.
He's in the middle of a break, so we're stealing
we
his
gotta
break
make it
time.
quick.
So we got to make it quick.
It's
But-
been a pleasure listening to you guys. You're
Thank
really
you.
good.
Thank you.
You guys sound awesome.
We try to make it as authentic as possible.
Yeah.
You know, like we bring Munich,
Yep.
the Oktoberfest, to everybody in the area.
Yeah.
That's how we.
that's what they do.
It's fantastic.
That's what we
Yeah,
love to
it's
do.
great.
Yeah.
The spirit comes out incredibly.
Awesome.
It really
Awesome.
does.
Yeah.
We've been complimenting you all afternoon.
Yeah, we have.
And so it's not just the band; it's the music itself is written in such a way for cheer and happiness. It's called Gemütlichkeit.
That's right. Der
And-
Gemütlichkeit.
Yep. Difficult, hard to say, but easy to feel. That feeling of brotherly kind of
that.
love, right?
You'll be in the background
Love
of
it.
our episode. We'll sign a licensing agreement later.
It's all right. It's all right.
How
It
many?
sounds like looks like somebody's
some
got you
beers.
hooked up here.
How many are in the band?
So we have a total of 23 members of varying age groups, anywhere from, so the youngest, he's not the youngest anymore, he's over 18, he's off to college, so he comes back when he can, and the oldest is in their 70s, like early 70s.
Nice.
Right?
Awesome.
And we have a mix in between, 4 generations of members. So,
Wow.
yeah, the fourth generation, we have 2 of them in the band today, and then, like I'm a second generation with my father in it, but their great-grandfather was actually in the band, started the band together with my father.
Wow.
And that whole family. So it's called the Glosel family and the Glatt family. And
around what year did it start?
1963 we started.
Nice.
There was a little pre-band before that, but the Deutschmeister Brass Band itself started in 1963 and was actually the original band and kind of the leader start of the Stubbornfest in St. Louis here, but it didn't start in St. Louis, right? It started in Columbia.
Yeah.
Exactly. Exactly. So
awesome.
I have to assume this is a busy time of year for you guys, right?
yes. So every weekend, every day, during the week sometimes, and sometimes twice on a Saturday.
For sure.
Sometimes
Wow.
twice, yes.
Holy cow.
Yeah.
Today? Twice today or not?
Not today.
No?
Not today.
Only you.
Not today.
You get us alone.
look at that.
Exclusive
Good,
access.
Good. I like it.
Well,
we
I'm-
very much appreciate you coming out to Stubbornfest.
Oh, yeah. And I'm sure the holidays are busy for you, too. It lends itself to the kind of music. And
It does. We have like Christmas concerts and whatnot. So,
Yeah.
this is really our time of year. And then when we have authentic beer and authentic, everything is being as authentic as it is, it's amazing. It just kind of works together. So
I'm going to put you on the spot. How does Stubbornfest Oktoberfest beer compare to the other Oktoberfest
To all of the other
beers?
Oktoberfests that you've had already
Is
this
it the
month.
best
Right?
Oktoberfest?
right? Exactly. So I drink a lot of beer this time
lot
of
of
year.
beer.
And I keep coming back to the Stubbornfest. I
There you
do,
go.
because it's awesome.
It
it's
really
very
is.
good.
Thank
I
you
love
so
it.
much.
I love
All
it.
right,
It's
well-
got good flavor. It goes down easy, and I love it.
What more could you
Thank you
ask?
so much.
Gemütlichkeit in a glass. So we're going to let you have some of your break, but where can somebody learn more about the band? Either hear you or maybe have you play an event. What do they have to do?
Sure, GermanBand.com.
Oh, that's
so
easy.
We got that
Easy enough.
We got that a long time ago
Wow.
when
I
guys
guess.
like my dad said, "What is this internet? We don't need this thing. Why are we spending money on the internet? We don't need it." So GermanBand.com.
We could buy a new trumpet.
Our schedule is
We
on
could
there,
save that money.
and there are free downloads of our music. On
Really?
there.
Cool.
Yeah. So there's 3 albums that we made throughout the years, and all 3 are on there. You can download them as MP3s.
Nice.
Wonderful.
Perfect.
And I will do it on my phone right
Yeah,
now.
check them out at GermanBand.com.
Thanks,
That's
guys.
awesome.
Well, thank you so much for
Thanks for
joining
being
us.
on.
Thanks,
go,
Elwood.
go have a break.
Prost.
Thanks. Take care. No, we're going to start right up. Prost.
Prost.
Ticket, sucking.
Oi, 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 oi.
Prost.
Prost.
Pause for a little Prost action there.
Actual Prost.
That is so cool. Just a great guy, great band.
Now, I feel like
Awesome.
we need to, with all the people we have around us, all drinking beer, we should shout out to your staff a little bit. You got
We should. Yeah,
several
for sure.
bartenders here
Yeah, because they're hustling.
feverishly working to quench everyone's thirst.
And this
So-
is the point where I really feel bad because I've been sitting here for 45 minutes and they've been working their butts off and changing kegs and re-icing coolers and stuff. But they did it all day yesterday. I had some other help. One of our former bartenders, Colin, that I'm sure a lot of people know, he came back to help move kegs around. He just loves moving kegs.
nice.
That's a good thing.
That's a good guy to know.
Yeah, and then we had Jeremy, our brewer, was helping as well yesterday. So between those guys, Tammy's dad, we got everything kind of set up, and then once it was kind of time to go, all the bartenders showed up and did their thing and do what they do best. And
I imagine compared to your average day bartending at Stubborn German, it's a little busier.
little,
It's a
yeah.
little
Little
crazier today.
We'll,
so.
traditionally we don't ever make any of our bartenders work a shift that they don't want to work. If they say, I'd rather not work this weekend because of whatever, we don't just put them on the schedule and say we'll figure it out. We would never do that. But Stubbornfest is different. It's like just keep that open, please.
They are very much appreciated.
Yes,
well, it reminds
absolutely.
me of, I was just having the thought that, maybe next year, if you need extra help, I wouldn't mind pouring beers,
Okay, you're in.
It's not something that I could commit to as a full-time career, but it's
Right.
something that I enjoy
But
doing.
once a
right?
day would be fun. Yeah,
Well,
or once
at
a
a-
year would be fun.
At an event like this.
Sure.
And so many years ago, I had mentioned earlier that old St. Pat's, world's largest block party in Chicago. We have a good friend of mine who has a connection there. His uncle was a parishioner. And his uncle, so the hot ticket there was to volunteer to work at the event because they would give you a free T-shirt. You'd work Friday, and you'd get in Saturday for free.
For free, and drink all night, and yeah.
Right? So my buddy Tommy's like, hey, let's work the block party, right? And I said, we can? He's like, yeah. So what ended up happening is my buddy Tommy and his dad and my dad and myself all volunteered, and we all got assigned to pour beer.
Nice.
Right? So the beer tap station, if you will, was like 60 feet long. There had to have been 30 kegs. And there is a semi-truck backed up to the end of the table. And there is a guy, he's got a rubber pad on the ground. I've never seen this before. They're rolling kegs off the truck, and this guy grabs it and guides it down, bounces it on this pad, and then rolls it over, and he's constantly changing kegs
Just
the whole
go
time.
Change another keg right now?
Yeah. And there's probably...
That's how I felt last night.
Sure, yeah. I mean, it's brutal. And there was probably, 3 or 4 of these stations around for that many people. So Tommy and I, we were, I don't know, early 20s at this point.
Yeah.
Well, the other factoid about that particular event is that was like the number one place to meet somebody you're going to marry, right? It was like, it just happened that way, right? So, and Tommy and I are both young single college guys, and there's a lot of women there. We're like, what we're going to do? We're going to work the tap, because that's where we're going to meet all the chicks, right? Well, the funniest thing is Tommy and I are pouring beers, and we got this line of like 5 or 6 people. I look over, and his dad and my dad have this line of like 100 women waiting. What the heck is going on here?
Oh, that's funny.
Yeah, and they used to give out, you buy a ticket to get in, they would give you like 10 drink tickets.
Yeah.
And then, eventually they brought that down to like 5.
Now you only get 5. 5 liters of beer is enough.
So I fondly remember pouring beers at that event. And also we mentioned the Optimist events. I enjoy bartending that. So count me in next year.
Fun, sure, absolutely. We also have some of the firm homebrew club members I've kind of tapped to, no pun intended, to help do a little bartending for us too.
Nice.
So you'll see some of those guys out here too. And we couldn't do it without them either. So yeah, we really have an awesome staff, and we got out of here last night about 1:30ish.
Wow. Yeah,
and that was not hanging around drinking all night. That was like
hustling.
Yeah, mopping floors and wiping everything off.
Getting it ready for tonight.
Yeah. Yep. So
I'm gonna go check the floors when I, after this. I'm gonna inspect them. They better look mopped.
You'll be that guy.
They'll be mopped.
No, but we definitely do appreciate everybody working so hard to make this happen, and the bartending staff that probably sometimes gets overlooked, especially on the podcast.
Yeah,
we appreciate you.
Totally, they take care of us.
Thank you very much.
Well, I think at this point we have a couple of drops from the sky that I don't really care about, but the recording equipment
don't like
might.
rain.
So maybe we'll wrap this one up.
Yep.
So again, we appreciate everybody tuning in and subscribing. After listening to this one, how could you not subscribe?
Exactly.
I mean, my gosh.
This is radio
What
gold.
train wreck are we going to hear
We
next?
are streaming Gemütlichkeit straight into your head from here at the Stubbornfest at the Stubborn German Brewing Company. So, for Mr. Jared Chasson and Chris Ron, I'm Kevin Oosty saying, Prost!